All right. Busy morning. Busy morning. Gym, grocery store. Now time to start building. So, seems like, based on what I saw on the stochastic tweet, it looked like they were. Hang on, let me see if I could pull that tweet because I had it up. Here it is. Based on their, what's up, Jay Whitty? Trying to figure out where the field's going. So I'm gonna look to you guys to kind of tell me what y'all are seeing out there because y'all are consuming more than me necessarily. Um, so I think for me, Klubnik's going to end up being a guy that's in 3 out of my 5 in this. I'm going to be heavy on Klubnik. I am heavy on Beck. The biggest piece of news, I'm way too heavy on Carson Beck. I would not advise having the destroying amounts of Carson Beck. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I guess Jay Whitty. That's where I'm trying to figure out, right? Is it worth just ripping that every week? Every time I look up there, it's not necessarily the winner. I usually try to look at like the top 20 teams. Um, Mainly on FanDuel because I used to be an exclusive FanDuel player when I started and then switched to DK. And I'm trying to figure all that out as far as being able to like not cross contaminate to an extent. Typically, I'm really good at one or really good at the other, and that's usually I put so much emphasis on DK for the last 2 years, trying to get really good there. So, like based on this stochastic tweet, it seems like projected ownership on Klubnik is about 20, almost 30%, 28, 29%. Which that's I want to be overweight on that particularly. I think he by far and away is the best points per dollar play on the slate at 7,500 at quarterback. Quarterback is just an ugly, ugly deal today. Um, my number one thing that I got to figure out is is CJ Daniels good because he popped up as questionable, and then that's going to cause me to change a lot of stuff on my end. So let's just start with this team because I already know that I want Klubnik and Beck. Poor Arizona State. They're down and out. They're going to have Sam Levitt, no Jordan Tyson, like Jeff Sims at quarter. I mean, it's going to be bad, folks. Just feel bad for those poor men this week or the rest of the season. So I'm going to play top stack partner for me with Klubnik. I have a ton of Klubnik doubles in the DK slate. So it'd be Klubnik, Moore, and Williams, Klubnik, Moore, and my favorite punt option is not close at this point. Stockton, Mensa, Klubnik, Stockton. Well, yeah. Oh, okay. Saying, oh, really? See, I understand the saying thing. I just don't think it's smart. Like, what? So let's talk through. I understand the Stockton thing, and I do have some Stockton, and I get that because of the rushing upside. And like every other quarterback on this slate has very limited rushing potential. Avery Johnson probably has the highest ceiling from a rushing upside, but I do get the Stockton thing. I get the Mensa thing. I'm on Mensa. I think Klubnik's the best play on the slate at quarterback. But like Julian's saying, so let's play with this because I want to show it. Because actually, I've debated having Sayin in my pool. So let's look at Sayin taking on Penn State at home. He's playing well. I think his floor is very good. I think he's going to be in the 20, like the right around 20 range. But realistically, he has to throw for 300 yards and he has to throw for 3 touchdowns. I don't think that they're going to play 3 quarters. Um, I think they're going to have to play the whole game. I just don't think, like, how many points is Penn State going to say this week? Like, I don't think Penn State scores. I don't even necessarily believe Penn State scores double digits. I think 10 is like their ceiling this week. But I don't get the say-in stuff because there's no rushing. So for the third highest scoring of the third highest price quarterback to have the zero rushing upside, why would you not just pay 300 more for Mendoza, who has a rushing upside and a ceiling against a team that he can just put up monster numbers? If things break his way, his ceiling is much higher than Sayin. So Sayin, all right, like we said, Sayin's going to need to throw for 303 touchdowns to get there. He's not a runner. So 303 touchdowns is what he's going to have to throw for to get there. Why is the likelihood that Sayin throws? Yes, it's a very easy double stack. I agree with you, Jay Whitty. 100%. You get Jeremiah Smith and you get everybody's going to be on Carnell Tate. I agree with that. And one of the two is going to have a huge game, guaranteed. The problem is, from a pricing standpoint, if you do that double, you're not getting to Jeremiah Love. You're not getting to Jamari Taylor. You're going to have to sacrifice. So from that standpoint, and look, I'm not saying I'm 100% right. I'm just saying I'm trying to see the ceiling outcome of what wins me a tournament. Julian Sayin's ceiling outcome is he's not going to, I mean, yes, this is a ceiling game in a blowout. So his ceiling outcome is 393 and 4 for 35 points at roughly 9K. So it's 4x. 4x is his ceiling. I think Mensa is a great play. Mensa is a very similar play. Now, Mensa has a little bit worse of a rushing floor, but Mensa can throw for 373 and 3 and be at 25, and he's at 4x. This game right here is the same as Sayin throwing for that number and scoring 36. So you're telling me what's more likely? Say Mensa throws for 370 and 2, or let's just even take 100 yards off of that. Let's say he throws for 270 and 3 or 303. Let's say he throws for 303, like this 2-lane game, right? That's very doable. 303 in this game. And that's 3x. I 100% PD. Malachi Toney's my favorite wide receiver of the day. It's not close. But that begs the question. I go to the Carson Beck situation. I think Carson Beck's got 30-point upside, and I could be completely wrong. But Carson Beck, in theory, should be the same exact play as Julian Sayin. And like I said, I gotta look for news on CJ Daniels. That's my number one thing because they're pass defense. All right, Klubnik's a go. But yeah, so anyway, let's just finish breaking down this. I just think if you're paying up there, you're better off paying for the floor of Mendoza than you are the floor of Sayin. And I think if you're paying down, you're better off playing down for PD. That makes me nervous. I don't think SMU is going to be able to put up points. I think so based on what I'm seeing here. Speaking of PD saying that game could shoot out that Miami game. On Stochastic's list here, it says Jordan Hudson, 4,200, projected for 15 fantasy points. I did not have that, and I don't believe in that. 35% exposure in their sim run, which is 12% over the field. So the field's going to be in the 20s on Jordan Hudson. They want 35% exposure. I'm going to be, that could be the play that kills me. Maybe it is, but I'm going to be at 0.0 Jordan Hudson. I just, no. I that you're gonna switch to Jordan Hudson. Romello Brinson's gonna have a revenge game, and you're gonna go, why didn't I play Romello Brinson? If I was running 150, sure, I'd play Hudson, I'd play Brinson, I'd play all of that, no problem. But for me, I'm playing the stacks, and then when I'm not playing stacks, I want Chris Bell, which they have at almost no ownership, basically. So I love Chris Bell this week. I think Chris Bell is far and away. Chris Bell is a better play than Jeremiah Smith is, and Elijah Surratt. I will have plenty of Elijah Surratt, but Bell is an insane play against Virginia Tech. I love this play. And fair warning, don't bother asking about the night slate. I haven't even run projections for it. I barely looked at it earlier. Yeah, I think Tony's a great play. I think Zach Branch is fine, but if he's going to be 25% owned, I'm not interested. Jeremiah Love, I'm going to be in on. I don't care what his ownership is. Interestingly enough, it seems like they want a ton of exposure to Jamari Taylor. I don't know that there's very much difference between UVA and, for my money, I don't think there's hardly any difference between UVA and Cal. Okay, Klubnik is available. He's back. Yep. All right, good. So I got all that. I don't think there's very much difference between UVA and Cal. Both teams can't tackle worth a crap. Both teams utilize their running back in the pass game as a bell cow. And both quarterbacks have been moderately struggling over the last month. The game just happens to be on the West Coast, so I'm going to side with Cal team. UVA's offense has been putrid lately, but I will have UVA stacks. I have no issues playing Chandler Morris. I think Chandler Morris has as much rushing upside as almost anybody on the slate, so I don't mind it. So going back to this, so basically I kind of know we're already going to be playing. I'm going to play a Beck team. Oh, let me see if I can find. I need to find CJ Daniels news. That is literally. Cal can't stop the run. Yes, so that's an interesting premise. Let's go look at this because I actually did. They did get smacked by. They did get smacked on the ground last week, 100%. So let's look at. Now I'm going to be moderately generous with this. But there's a few outlier games for sure. All right, let's look at Cal stopping the run. They're not particularly good at stopping the run. I don't disagree. I don't think UVA is particularly good at stopping the run. I just don't think either team is. But the thing is like Jamari Taylor, not exactly a great runner. So I think I would say let's talk UNC, but I don't know that that's a relative comp because they did give up 2 rushing touchdowns and 5 yards of carry. So let's just take that into existence. We'll just say, all right, that Virginia Tech game last week, they got absolutely torched on the ground. Marcellus Hawkins absolutely roasted them for 8 yards of carry. I'm willing to discount that because it was at Virginia Tech traveling cross country. So I'm willing to discount that minimally. The damning evidence that you can go with is this Duke game. But But Nate Shepherd, 12 carries, 91 yards. He's one of the most hyper efficient backs in the country. And by comparison, Jamari Taylor is nowhere near as explosive. So, I don't know on that one. I like that Louisville Virginia Tech game, Myron. I do too. I love Chris Bell in that game, and I love Isaac Brown. 100%. But PD, I don't think we're not comparing Jamar. I'm playing Jamari Taylor. I agree. My biggest question mark is we're not comparing. I'm not comparing Jamari Taylor to Raleek Brown or Jaden or Roman Hemby even or Miles Turner. I'm comparing him to Kendrick Raphael solely. So going back to that, look at Raphael's touch counts. Let's go in and say, all right, let's compare and contrast. Old boy's got 23 touches, 24 touches, 21 touches, 26 touches. I'm buying that just as much. I think it's a you're deciding between Kendrick Raphael and Jamari Taylor situation. That's all. That's where I'm at. And I'm splitting it in a lot of stuff, but it's just a question mark of, where am I at? Because like if we go in here, Turbo Richard just absolutely torched them. But that's a West Coast to East Coast road trip. So how much stock do I want to put into that? It's like that's the tough part. They hemmed up Lucky Sutton pretty decently at 5 yards a tote. Lucky Sutton's a good back. Granted, it's San Diego State, but Lucky Sutton's a solid player. San Diego State's in the running for this G5 spot. No doubt about it. So they didn't have Darius Taylor here. So I would say that that's like a point towards them, towards that. And then you're looking at Hankerson, which I like Anthony Hankerson, but golly, that guy kills me. I don't know, man. It's tough. That is such a tough situation for me to know what to buy into there. I think both are great. That's what I'm saying. I think you got to play both. I think people are based on what I saw in that. It's basically saying that all of the ownership's going to Jamari Taylor. And if you're telling me a lot of the time when I end up in that spot, I'm ending up with the option of Jamari Taylor and Cameron Dickey, or I can just go Jeremiah Love and Jamari and Kendrick Raphael, and I'd just rather take Love and Raphael, or Love and Hemby, or Love and Montgomery. Because if you're going to give me a guy, I mean, BC, you want to talk about bad run defenses? Boston College's run defense might be the worst in the country. I mean, it is absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. All right, we got to get some information. All right, so, oh boy. All right, Ian Strong is questionable. This is a FanDuel thing. Ian Strong still listed as questionable. We're going to have to sweat that one out a little bit. He's my top stack with Callie Manis. I did not play a ton of that, so not too concerned there. Where are yeah. Somebody's asking about one quarterback being viable. I need some CJ Daniels news. We're gonna have to stay on the lookout for that one. That's gonna be the key to this slate. Chris Bell, by the way, is fine. Club Love. You're talking to me now. I love a Jaden Nixon play today. You got Jeremiah Smith. Is that what one of the Smiths is? I'm guessing it's Tristan Smith and my favorite scroll running back is Jaden Nixon at 4,400. If you have 4,800, I don't hate Michael Turner because I don't think my guy plays very much. I don't hate playing Jeremiah. I don't know that I'm going to end up playing Jeremiah. I love Jeremiah is just so safe. It's a good play. Um, I'm leaning into Chris Bell, so I don't mind saving 700 there. So like I would say when I'm going to play a team very similar to that, and I actually do have a team very similar to that. And I think what I did is I went from Williams to Moore, Jeremiah to Bell, and that got me 700. Yes, I have that exact team. So I know what it is now. I went Jeremiah Smith to Chris Bell. I went Antonio Williams to TJ Moore, and then that gives you 700 plus 400, I think it is, which is 1100, which gets you to from Nixon. It gets me from Nixon to Jacoby Williams at 53, which that's just a different way. It's a 3v3, and I think it's a great way to play with it. But I know I built that team last night. I definitely know I did. Just like that. So I like this. That's where I'm going to be. Because in this situation, I don't have to worry about this right here, which I need information on. That is number one, the most important thing of the day for me, because I am going to go into full panic mode if I have to switch all that stuff out. So we're going to put a Love Nixon Brown, Barkett Williams Bell. Quayshawn Brown, yes. I like that too. Yeah, I have some of that. I think Mintz is one of the top 4 quarterback plays on the slate. So that's why I'm struggling with not playing that game stack. I think that game stack I'm going to end up playing in the single entry. See, CJ, so the latest is that CJ Daniels is a game time decision. Joy. Okay. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. All right. That's the big one for me today. Because that's like half my FanDuel lineups that I have to switch. Yeah, I love Jeremiah Love today. It's hard to get away from him. I like Barkate. I don't love Barkate, but like look, think about it this way: your projections have been hot because last week they were heavy on Satania. You know, I'm gonna have a large chunk of Jeremiah Love. Who would I switch? All right. So in this spot, I'm 100% playing Jeremiah Love. I kind of want to play Chris Bell. See, that's the other part. All right, so let's talk this. At flex, if you've got 7,600 left, do you play Jamari Taylor? Who, to y'all's point, he's going to get 20 to 25 touches. Do you play Jamari Taylor or do you play Chris Bell? That's a tough one. For my book, it's 75 versus 7,600 point. Like, would you rather play Bell or Jamari Taylor? I think it's kind of hard not to go Chris Bell in that spot. I don't hate Shepard. I don't love Shepard. Basically, most of my exposure is going to go through. See, you're missing. So Jay Whitty, it's interesting that you're missing 2 guys that I think aren't going to project well, but I like. So I love Raphael Taylor. I don't mind Isaac Brown. I don't mind Jaden Baugh. but those are workload based plays. I really like Roman Hemby, Miles Montgomery, and I'm a little heavier on Jacoby Williams than I would like probably. And then I like Nixon as a pivot. But I do like, see, that's the thing. So I don't know. Because we haven't seen it, I don't know which one of these two it would be. Here's the other thing. Where's is he still, yeah. Where's JoJo Trader? JoJo Trader was allegedly the one before the season started. So, like, is it Trader? I don't think so. I think it's probably Moore. But I mean, Moore's had one game with a catch, and that was Stanford last week since USF game. Marion at least has played. I'm not a Keelan Marion fan either, though. So, I mean, that really makes me nervy. I can tell you right now in this, so in our $20, we're going to play a Klubnik Beck. We're going to play a Mensa Beck. We're going to play a Klubnik, what's his face? Mendoza. And let's play a Mensa, Mendoza. And I'm tempted to have the fifth one be, hang on. So is that double backs? Yeah, we got two backs. The last one's definitely going to be Klubnik. And then I've got a Klubnik Mendoza. It's probably going to end up being Klubnik and I almost want it to be Chandler Morris. I don't like it, but I'm tempted for it to be that to be the case. So, like, here's where I get in trouble is on this team now, I'm very tempted to go Tristan Smith with Klubnik because his relative value is just insane compared to everybody else. So, like, I don't want to double stack. I think I built this team already. Anyway, I built it in an earlier tournament, which is bound to happen because I've built so many teams at this point. So if I go Tristan Smith there, see, this is kind of where I get in trouble. It does get me in trouble because, like, I want to play Hemby or Montgomery in this spot. So then if I do that, though, then I end up in that 7,200 range, which I don't love. I'd have to play Montgomery and, like, Surratt. Montgomery Surratt's probably 40-point upside if I was to guess. Problem is, it's like 6,500. I don't love playing in this like Raphael, and then I'd have to pick in this range. So like you'd have to go like I don't want to go Raphael De Jesus. I don't particularly want to play Jaden Ball in this spot. Yeah, I want no. I don't mind. I don't mind running back in the flex, but I'm not going to do it just to do it. Jackson, you got Taven Jackson. Ooh, Taven Jackson. Woo. I mean, that's not Cam Fancher. So I will not. I'm not gonna say anything with that one. I'm not gonna poo-poo on your dreams. Oh, by the way, we hit 300 subs yesterday. I want to say I appreciate y'all for doing that. That was a milestone, we'll say. Yeah, that's what so that is an interesting point, Jay Woody. Quarterback is weird, man. So I'm going to play 4. In the teams we're going to build, it's going to be 4. It's going to be Mendoza, Klubnik, Mensa, and Beck. I do think, however, Sawyer Robertson, Avery Johnson, Bayron Morton Gunnar Stockton. Oh, maybe I play Stockton in one. Ooh, I do like his upside. I think there's other guys that are viable. I just don't like them. You know what? I'm going to play Stockton in one because of the rushing and because Florida could just technically quit. No, it's all good, boys. What's up, JB? Morning, Patrick. I'm just having fun, guys. This is the same conversation I'm going to have. I just have extra input now. I just have extra input. This is more fun for me. Plus, I get some information. I enjoy this. So, like, this is. See, I can tell you right now that the obvious answer for me in this spot, in this particular lineup, the obvious answer for my money is Jacoby Williams, Chris Bell. I think Bo Jackson's viable. So like that would be the two ways that I would prefer to play this. I would stay out of that mid 6K range because literally the only guys I mean I don't mind Jadarian Price, but I'm playing Julian Love already. So I don't mind Stockton. So I'm going to play a Stockton team with Klubnik in this thing. I do like Stockton because he has the rushing capability that nobody else has. I am extremely worried about his passing capability because who's he throwing it to at this point? Like, I mean, I know he just threw 3 touchdowns to Lawson Lucky. Let's be real here. That's weird. Thank you. Thank you. See? Oh, I don't disagree. Georgia can't run the football at all. I mean, they should be able to. Chauncey Bowen's good back. Nate Frazier, I'm high on as far as talent goes. He just can't hold on to the football. And then Josh McCray is a good running back. Like he was Illinois' #1 back. Speaking of that, I really wish. I swear, I wish Illinois was Rutgers was on this slate on DK. How much fun would that game be on here? Oh, we got something. It's just saying. See, thank you. I'm getting injury news from 2 sources, and everybody's saying the same thing. It's just nothing. Come on, people. So yeah, so I'm trying to consider upside into this. Like, I do not like Adam Randall, I do not like Mark Fletcher whatsoever this week. I'm all in on the Miami pass attack, all out on the run game. Which means Mark Fletcher could easily just bury me. Adam Randall, Raleek Brown, I don't like because Iowa State's pretty healthy along the front 7, and they're pretty bad on the back end, and they just kind of suck. Anybody's thoughts on James Franklin going to Virginia Tech? I really like that move for Virginia Tech, actually. I hate Virginia Tech as a whole, but I do think that was a great move by them to get James Franklin. That they just need to win the games they're supposed to win. They are the most undisciplined program, and they've been that for 20 years. Don't get me wrong. Frank Beamer, they were undisciplined. That's why they lost games. They got too many stupid penalties. They played stupid. They just were a super undisciplined program for years. I love Hemby. I think Hemby scores this week. Yes, his box scores look terrible. I do think 20 points is well within the realm of possibility. He's been getting a much better workload. See? Look at that. Narrative Street, boys. Look, that's why I say I don't pay for any services because this stuff's, I'm already there. Like, it's kind of pointless. I don't know. You know what I mean? I could be completely off. Look, I'll be honest. I'll be the first one to say the 1 week I was awful. It's because I was off of what the Sims were saying. Sims were saying Kavorian Barnes. I said that's stupid, and then Kavorian Barnes gave me the blade that week. I like Miles Montgomery in that same range as Hemby. Those are 2 of my favorite running back plays are Hemby and Montgomery. I think Montgomery's a sneaky play. I think Jaden Nixon is also a sneaky play, but I just don't think I need to get there. So, like in this specific instance, I hate that I'm going to be here, but I'm going to be. I like this. This is my favorite way to play this game. Play this set. I love Chris Bell. I think Chris Bell's got 30 plus. Chris Bell could be the highest scoring player on the slate. and I have a hard time getting away from him. I know I'm not going to be able to get to him on a lot of other teams, so I'm going to want to play Bell and Love have the two highest ceilings of any player on the slate for me. Like as far as raw points at a skill position player. Oh, whoa! Ian Strong's out. Hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on. I have not gotten an Ian Strong's out update. I need that one. If that's the case, then I've got to adjust. I've got teams to change. I do not have that news. So, Ian, you might be ahead of me saying that Ian Strong's out because I have not gotten that yet. I have not gotten I have nobody saying that yet, but we'll see. We will see. I think that might come out soon. Is he tagged? Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. You can't trust FanDuel. Don't read whatever they're saying. Just you got to Twitter search Ian Strong or something like that. Stay away from. You got to stay away from reading Roto Wire and shit like that because they're terrible. Barcade, Beck. Hang on, hang on. You're telling me Carson Beck is in the top sim ROI lineup? Why is it? I'm gonna be so mad if people start getting on Carson Beck after I've been hoping that everybody would not be willing to play. What's up, David? David, last time we caught up live, we built a just absolute stinker. So let's try not to do that today, huh? What do we say? What do we say? So I think this is definitely my first team. I love Tristan Smith as far as this goes. I could be completely wrong, but at 3K, I'm willing to take chances. Yeah, I'm there for sure. And then I do like Jacoby, especially with Morton back. Morton's not the runner that Will Hammond is. So we're getting a massive value on Jacoby Williams. He should catch a lot more passes now that that's the case. So let's go to this one. I'm going to enter that one. That one's updated. All right. That's going to be play number 1. Okay. We're waiting on CJ Daniels news because if CJ Daniels news pops eventually and he's out, I'm going to end up having to sprint to the finish line and literally switch CJ Daniels on a ton of stuff because I have way too much CJ Daniels. Hey, you weren't wrong, Astro. You weren't wrong. Oh, I agree, Ian. He's the best. He's one of the best plays on the slate at 8,100. Very much so. He's a guy that I want. Yay! Look, I'll tell y'all. Lacey's a beast, man. I mean, he was not hyper efficient, but he can keep getting his points. He's one of those guys who just struggle because he doesn't. He's like all right. So the comparable play to Lacey this week because of the volume. The very much so the exact same play this week to Kewan Lacey from last week is Jaden Baugh from Florida. He's going to get all the work in a backfield in an okay but not great matchup, and that's 100% the guy. I mean that's got to be it. All right, team 2, we are going Duke. We're going to the Duke game. We need. Oh, this is not the Duke double or the Duke thing. I thought it was. All right, never mind. Then. This is going to be the Mensa Beck. So we'll take SMU out. All right. I want to play. All right, we're going to play. I do not want to play him. Let's see here. We are going to play Tony. Yeah, we got to play Malachi Tony for sure. See, I want to get as much Love and Bell as possible, so it's kind of messing up my Barcate. I kind of want to put Barcate in this team, but I think I'm gonna end up saving Barcate for later. Or I could put Barcate in. It would have to be Barcate. Yeah, I think. All right, let's leave that spot open. I think I know how I could do that. All right, let's just say we want. I love Barcate. Look, boys. I mean, nobody can say that I'm not the biggest Barcate homer of all time. I was on Barcate before anybody was on Barcate. I was on Barcate. You can go back and watch watch my team preview for Duke. I said he was going to be the best wide receiver on the team. I mean, I was on Barcate before anybody. I was number one on that, man. All right, so this is where this gets interesting, right? So I'm going to play with a 2v2 here. So either my original build was Samir Hagens in this spot with like a TJ Moore. Oh no. Guys, how terrible is this? I wanted to build this exact team and we were going to go Barcate. Look at this. This is exactly what I was going to do. I was going to do Barcate Tristan Smith. We already know that was going to be the winner. This is the winning lineup. You just can't get to it. You're 100 short. Anytime you get a lineup that's 100 short, it was the winner. That was the shipper. And it's gone. We've been ruined immediately, just like that. It's Tony Love. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. So now the question becomes is how do I want to adjust this? Ooh. So the only way to adjust this is either A, come off of Bell, which I hate doing. I hate coming off of Bell. But I think you can. What if I come off Bell and I go 4,900 here? That's 2,700 back. That gets me 5,600. Right? That could get me. Ooh. That could be fun because I don't have any of that. So I can either go Bo Jackson or Carnell Tate at that point. So I can go instead of Chris Bell, I can go TJ Moore here. And then I can go Carnell Tate in that flex spot, which kind of gives me that kind of a little bit of a coverage in case Carnell Tate just goes full blade again. I wouldn't mind the Bo Jackson play, but be daggone if this kid cannot access a ceiling. You know what I mean? So I love Chris Bell. I want to have him in teams. I'm probably going to get more of him. But in this instance specifically, I'm going to go TJ Moore here, which is going to give me access at 5,600. I really am tempted to not take those guys. I really would want, my mind says to play Jacoby Williams. I'm not going to. I think Bo Jackson ends up being under-owned. I'm going to take the ceiling of Carnell Tate instead. So there you go. Let's see. Yeah. So JB, Astro, I understand the Isaiah Bond or the Lewis Bond thing. I understand the Lewis Bond thing. I just don't like that offense. And I'm trying to figure out what the upside is on Bond. I know he's got a massive floor. I just don't know that he's a winning level play. I would prefer to get the Koi Eakin, probably, but I do have some Bond. I just am not going out of my way to get Lewis Bond. Lewis Bond's a cash play, and I just don't play cash uh, in college or in college. I don't play cash because it's just a massive train of people who consume all the same content, which is terrible. Whereas NFL, you get the fish. Um, JB, I think Romello Brent. I don't want to play a bring back. Personally, I'm not worried about bring backs anymore. I'm trying to stay away from that concept. I'm willing to do it if it's a guy that I like the price on and that I liked independent of the game. I like Brinson a lot as a pivot because I think based on the information I saw and based on what I saw from sorry, I gotta adjust this team that I've now changed to get Barcade in. Do I have 100 left? No, I don't. Damn. Barcade, Moore, Tate. There you go. All right. And I like Montgomery. I think based on what I saw from the stochastic tweet that kind of showed sim exposure, it looked like they were going to have a ton of exposure to Jordan Hudson. And yes, he has been the best of the bunch. I would prefer to go Brinson. I just think I like playing on the narrative of that a little bit more. And I think it's an underrated play because he was at Miami. People might have forgotten that he came from Miami, similar to Brashard Smith at the time. So, all right. So Mensa team going in. Mensa Beck. I'm way too exposed to Carson Beck. Guys, I'm telling you, I don't think Carson Beck's very good. I was his number one hater, we'll say, in the offseason. And I don't hate, like, Faison's a cash game play to me. That's the problem I'm having with those types of guys. Like, so let's look at the wide receivers. We'll go through it real quick. All right. If we look at it and we go, all right, Jacob DeJesus, right? Cash play to me. Cash play. Nice low ceiling or like high floor, low ceiling. Like cash play all day long. He's a cash game play. He's just going to catch a ton of balls. You might as well play Lewis Bond if you're going to play Jacob DeJesus, like, because that's what he is. He's the same way. You know what I mean? Beck is the single gross click today, and if he was not playing what I would consider the worst pass defense in the country, I wouldn't want to do it. I think Carnell Tate would be a cash click, even though he shouldn't be. But people are going to click him because he's cheap and he's good. But I don't know. I feel like he's going to end up over-owned compared to where I would want. Dallas Wilson, people love. So people love the player and the talent. That's a nervy click to me. That is a nervy click. I can't make that click. Like for me, for my money, we were talking about the Lewis Bond stuff. So like Bond's going to catch a ton of balls, but he's got to score and he's got to get to 20. And I don't know that he gets to 20 in this spot, mainly because look at the talent around him. You got Dallas Wilson, you got Coy. I like Eakin a good bit today. I do think Eakin has a ceiling that he can access, and it's in this spot that he can get it. Garrett Oakley's a fun click. He's playing really well right now, and Texas Tech sucks against tight ends. So he's like a fun click in there. And then you get to Faison. Like, yeah, Faison's safe, but what's the difference between him, Lewis Bond, and those guys? Lagway's way too expensive on DK. There's a common theme on DraftKings today. I did take one glance at the night slate. There is a theme on DK today, and it is quarterbacks are far too expensive. I absolutely hate the quarterbacks on today's slate as far as like expensive wise. Like the night slate is even worse. Everybody that's good north of 8K. But like if you're gonna click Lagway, why would you not just click Klubnik for 200 less? You know, I think Lagway's a decent player, but I want to buy into Lagway at 6K. Like, why? I haven't seen him. He hadn't scored more than He hadn't scored 19 points all season. Yeah, we're getting spam messages. We are making it. We have made it, boys. I'm proud. Thank you, spam messages. I'm pumped about that, man. I have made it if I get spam messages in my chat. That means I'm going places. All right, we want a Club Nick Mendoza team, which also means we're going to get. We are definitely going to get. I'm the big time. I'm getting spam messages. I'm ecstatic about it. Nobody's ever been happier about a spam message than me. All right, Elijah Surratt's going in 100%. Now, I love playing Himby in this spot for that Maryland onslaught. So I'm going to do it. I love a Maryland onslaught here. Plus, I think people forget I do like a Kansas stack. Preferably, I would probably go with Jace Brown with Avery Johnson. But if you wanted to get different, I would play Garrett Oakley as my stack partner. And I have no issues playing like Jacoby Williams or Coy Eakin on the other side of it. I don't know that I would go full game stack. I've kind of pulled back from that game. That game feels like it's going to go under to me in a weird way. So I'm kind of pulling back a hair on that one. Let's see. Let's get some Clemson wide receiver in here. You know what? I'm half tempted to just throw this as a double. So let's go TJ Moore. Should I go Tristan Smith here? Probably, because I'm going to have to save somewhere in this. Somewhere in the, and that will give me 12-4. Oh. Okay, so then there's two ways you can build that. Oh, no. Yes. We got it. Shipper. We got the shipper, boys. All right, I already know how to get it now. Okay, we're going wide receiver. You're going to see this in a second. Oh, boys. We're going here. And then now I get my Kendrick Raphael in. Oh, boy. I get a Klubnik double stack. Malachi Tony in the single greatest matchup on the universe today. I get Mendoza stacked with Surratt and Himby. Himby can catch passes. People forget how good of a pass catcher Himby was at Maryland. And remember, revenge game against Maryland. Love that. Little Indiana onslaught. And then I get Kendrick Raphael, who I prefer to Jamari Taylor, but everybody's going to be on Jamari Taylor. I just have a preference in that spot for me. That's just my personal preference. I don't think there's much difference, and I think Raphael's ownership ends up so much under the ownership that Taylor gets. Now, like I said, I'm playing Taylor. Don't get me wrong. I'm just playing more Raphael because the price tag is so palatable for me. And then that's a fade on your top end guys, right? I'm still getting access to a bunch of high team totals in this with this situation, but I'm not. I have access to all the high team totals here, but I don't have access to your Jeremiah Loves, to your Chris Bells. I don't mind Bo Jackson. I just need his ceiling to come out. He hasn't had a ceiling game yet this season, and I really want to see it. I keep buying it. He just keeps kind of letting me down in that sense. So that's a bit disappointing, we'll say. Come on, man. All right, well, I got some guy named Miami Mondo over here telling me that CJ Daniels is an absolute game time decision. I don't know that I trust that. All right, injury news. Let's see here. They're saying Kobe Prentice is a game time decision. North Texas is healthy, going against Army or Navy. Well, Army. Why is it showing against Army? Why is it saying heading into a game against Navy, but then they have a freaking logo of Army? That's throwing me off. That is definitely Army logo, and that's definitely an Army injury report because Hayden Reed and Dwayne Coleman play for Army. So that's weird. But the guy tweeted and said Navy. South Alabama. Got to check that, of course. Goose Crowder back. That's good. Good for Troy. All right. Golly. All right. Next. Now that we've got a Clemson stack in there, I think we're getting decent exposure. You know who we don't have any exposure to yet is Jamari Taylor in any of these three teams. Because we got Love, Hemby. I wonder if I played Montgomery. No, I think I played Hemby in that spot. It was either Montgomery or Hemby. I don't remember. Let's see. Hang on. Oh, it was Montgomery. 4,900. Yeah, 5,600. Yeah. So we did play Montgomery. Jacoby. And we just have not played any Jamari Taylor yet. Cool. I do want to play Jamari Taylor. This is not a anti-Jamari Taylor situation. This is just a he hadn't fit in my lineup yet situation. All right. Oh, whoa, what are we doing here? I got Mensa. I want Mendoza. Are you the same guy who keeps telling me Joe Jackson every week? Did you do it last week? Somebody said they were playing Joe Jackson at 7K last week. Said you're nuts. I mean, yeah, cool. Like, he's just so hyper. He hadn't averaged 5 yards a carry in a game all season. I'm not. I'd rather play Jaden Ball at 6,300. And I'd 100% rather play Roman Hemby, Miles Montgomery, or Bo Jackson, or Jacoby Williams, any of them. I do not like, I am not a fan of that. I think everybody's going to be off of Surratt. They're all going to be on Bell and Jeremiah up here. So I think Surratt comes in under-owned. I'm not an Omar Cooper guy. Honestly, that might be the best leverage play is to go to Omar Cooper, but I don't think I can do it. Let's go should I go Barcade? I know we're saying my man's over here telling me Barcade every freaking time. You know what? We're gonna. I want to get. Let's go this. I'm gonna go Jamari Taylor in this lineup. I'm gonna go. Let's go. That's a debate between those two. I'm gonna pick. I think I'm gonna play 3 running backs on this team. I think I'm gonna play 3 running backs on this team. That's what I'm saying, though. That's the other part of Jamari Taylor is like, do I really want to play? Basically, playing Jamari Taylor over Chris Bell. That I don't know how I feel about. I like Nate Shepard, but not in this spot. Clemson's good against the run, terrible against the pass. I prefer playing it through Mensa. That's my preference. It's just personal preference there. See, I'm tempted to do. This is kind of what I want to do in this spot is because I'm not going to play much of that. And then that gives me access to I could play Raphael with him. That would be fun. Or I could play Jadarian Price in this spot. So you could play Tristan Smith, Jadarian Price. That's option 1. That could be a fun way to play that. You can play Tristan Smith, Jadarian Price. You could play Hemby or Montgomery. So that's like 3,800 or 3,900. Oh. Oh, no, I can't do that. Oh, I can't do that. No. Son of a biscuit. You know what I wanted to do was play Montgomery, and then you could play Quayshawn Brown right here. Problem is I don't want to play both UCF running backs in that spot, which sucks because that is the optimal way to play that. Because then I get access to Quayshawn. I get a double stack with Mensa. But I guess, man, oh no, they're saying no good. That's hell terrible. Oh, injury news. I don't see Ian Strong doing initial warm-ups with the rest of the Scarlet Knights receivers, per Jeremy Werner from 24/7 Sports. So Ian Strong probably out today. So it would seem potential. I just haven't now I've seen information on that. All right, so I think this is an interesting way to play this, but the problem is how do I want to play it? I would say I might go here. That's a fun way to play this with 3K cat with Tristan Smith. But then we're starting to enter territory where I got a lot of Tristan Smith. And that's kind of scary for me. I don't like Sheffield in that spot. I actually do like Duff. FanDuel is very starved for value. FanDuel, there is almost no value. That's why I'm paying down at quarterback, Ian. I think everybody's going to pay up for Haynes King, Taylon Green, Trinidad Chambliss, Fernando Mendoza. My favorite two quarterbacks on FanDuel, actually, that I ended up playing into, favorite three, we'll say, but the top two are Luke Altmaier, Carson Beck. And then the third one, Chandler Morris. I've got all three of them. I'm playing a good bit of those because I want to pay down so that I can pay up for the Kendrick Raphael, King Miller, Jamari Taylor, Miles Montgomery, Roman Hemby. I'm playing that mid-range at running back and playing a good bit of Jaden Nixon at 6,600. Because at wide receiver, I loved Colin Dixon at 7K. I like Jacoby Lane at 7,300. I like Hank Beatty at 8,600. CJ Daniels, if he's in, at 79. Now, there could be a ton of value that opens up if CJ Daniels is out. If CJ Daniels is out, then you got to move. You got to move some guys up there at that point. But like, who gets that spot is the main dark question in there. So, like, do I want to play Price, Nixon, and then Tristan Smith? Do I want to play 5,900 and then I have 3,800 for a wide receiver? 3,800, you could go like with but see, now I'm entering into where I want to play the janky UVA wideouts, like the Trell Harris's, and I'm not playing them with Jamari Taylor. Like, that's a terrible decision. I'm not doubling down on. Let's go. Shout you out. College football game streaming on NCAAHD.com. I'm sure the people who have YouTube TV are going to need to be using that today, given their ESPN situation. Let's just go Tristan Smith. Who? Are you talking? I'm guessing, Dino, you're talking about Ian Strong and Rutgers. I wish they were on the DK slate, but no, we're talking FanDuel over that. He's 8,100. He's 8,100 on FanDuel. I don't know why I have this team in. I feel like this team should be on something else. This team's just ugly. Oh, you're good. I'm getting bigger. Look at that, man. I'm starting to get all kinds of like the NCAA FHD. Come on. Let's go. This feels like a team I should have in a dollar contest. Like, I can't be playing this nonsense in this monster tournament. That's ridiculous. Like this needs to be switched from to like see like you could add 800 and then you know what? All right, but I don't like that. I can get Quayshawn Brown in here. I can get Samir Hagens in here. I can get a better wide receiver in here. I can get up on some of this. I could definitely do that. All right, I'm gonna play this in just an absolute stanky tournament because I actually do like that team, but as a risk, but I don't want to play it in this. Like that's just a bridge too far for me, guys. That is a bridge too far even for me. I don't think I can do that in that contest. So let me throw it into this because that's just that is banking on some weird stuff. So I'm gonna throw it in the daily dollar for the LOL stuff. All right, we got to keep that eye out on CJ Daniels, man. That is I'm gonna have to just be on a full sprint when that news drops. So you'll have to forgive me if I go, oh, I am gone. I don't hate that. You know, I don't like Julian Saiyan. You don't even have Saiyan stacked. What are we doing? That is the most confusing lineup of all time, Jay Whitty. Like, if there was ever a quarterback that has to be stacked, it's Julian Saiyan. Like, that is insanity. That is insanity, friend. I know. Hey, you get there. If you somehow get there, all right. So yeah, Joshua Moore. All right. So if we have to pivot, we are going to pivot to Joshua Moore. Now Ian Strong is on the field. Ian Strong's now warming up, boys. This is mid-season form for DFS. Let me tell you. I mean, this is mid-season form for this sucker. You can't love this anymore. You know what I mean? You can't love it anymore. It's stressful. It sucks. You hate it. You hate the coaches. Like they'll have guys that they list as out warming up. Shout out Pat Narduzzi with Des Reed earlier this year. Like you can't make this stuff up, guys. It's just awesome. There's nobody I despise more than Kyle Whittingham, though, when it comes to that stuff. So, all right, I got that weird, janky team in there in the freaking God in the dollar contest, but there's no way I'm playing that in the. Yeah, I think you just set up your pivot, right? You know what I mean? I don't think there's anything wrong with Ian Strong. How are you stuck between King? Oh, it's King Miller and Ian Strong. Okay. But I think both of those are very viable. So it's one of those things. I would sit on that until the final minutes and I'd have it set up to where I could just make the adjustment because I do think both of those are very viable. Very good options, in my opinion. I like both of them, in fairness. So I don't think that's any bit of a problem to go there. All right, we got to build one team here. What? You know this has to be Barcade, and it's two of my favorite wide receivers. So it's got to be Barcade in there. Y'all know I'm going to end up just wanting to play. Oh, you know what? Let's just do this. I think this is the play. Let's just go Hemby. Let's go Montgomery together. Look at this, guys. I love the spam, people. I love the spam. I'm getting comments. Hey, by the way, I don't know if y'all watched Underrated Game of the Week this week, the Hawaii San Jose State game. Watch that tonight. I am getting massive viewership out of Kanioa and Hilo and like the Hawaiians are loving it right now. They got like 1,300 views on that sucker. Had like 40 on the previous 2 weeks, even though I was 2-0 on the picks. I'm 7-2 on the year in picks against the spread in the underrated game of the week. Just saying. Not saying, just saying. Just FYIs for those of you out there that have not been watching or been watching. So like, here's a tricky spot right in this, right? I like that play there. I now lose the I love doing the underrated game of the week. It's just kind of a fun thing. I like doing the the G5 games. I like that's my favorite. Like that's where I used to make a good bid on the helping others with picks against G5. See, like this is where it gets tricky, is this spot right here. Because I would love to be able to play Kendrick Raphael in this spot, and then that leaves me with 5,400. Or no, 3,400, excuse me. So I can go Kendrick Raphael, and then I have 3,400. So I go Kendrick Raphael, and then I need to play. Now, it makes a big difference. If CJ Daniels is out, I'll go to Josh Moore right here. Like, hell yes. 3,200 Josh Moore immediately vaults very quickly. Who the hell? So like he vaults up the board. You need to run back under 5K. Michael Turner from Baylor or Jaden Nixon from UCF. That's my two options at under 5K running back. A little or that would be your best two options. I think Jaden Nixon's got massive ceiling and an extremely low floor. Michael Turner's got a higher floor but a lower ceiling. So here's your two options in this spot. I think you either take like a Samir Hagans and you get your double stack with Mensa and you take Kendrick Raphael right here, or you take 5,900. Yes, you take because I don't think you're going to want to play like the 5K guys with him. That would be the other way. But I think you play you play Malachi Toney with Quayshawn Brown, which that is somewhat the biggest struggle for me, is trying to decide between Samir Hagans and Quayshawn Brown as the second stack partner for me. Let me go and see full PPR for Duke. Yeah, it comes down to Josh Moore at this point. If he's out, I'm going to Josh Moore. I don't even know his price on FanDuel. If CJ Daniels is out, I'm switching to Josh Moore, and I'll use the funds for something else because there's no value. So I will play some Josh Moore. I'm not going to retool everything just because of that. And we know Josh Moore is going to come in with extremely low ownership. So like Quayshawn Brown and Samir Hagans project within a less than a point of one another, and they're 3,900 and 3,200. So it's like we're talking 0.7 of a point. And if I'm talking 0.7 of a point, they're negligible. So it comes down to who do I want to play more between Kendrick Raphael and Malachi Toney. I mean, they project within a point of one another as well. I've got Toney in that one. I bet I have Toney in all three. All right, let's fade Toney in one team because I got freaking 18 Toney teams. Let's go. I'm going to end up regretting this no matter what I do. If I play Samir Hagans, I'm going to hate myself for it. If I play Malachi Toney, I'm going to hate. I mean, if I play Quayshawn Brown, I'm going to hate myself for it. So it doesn't matter what I do in this spot. I'm going to hate myself either way. So I'm going to play it this way. I don't have but one Raphael team currently in this, and I don't know that I'll end up on him in this last one. So I'm going to end up playing. I'm going to play this. These are three of my favorite running backs. I'm going to buy my guys. So I'm going to play that right there. All right. So I got one more team here. Man, time flies in this sucker. I'm getting buried. No, I'm not playing Keelan Marion. If I was playing anybody, it would be Josh Moore. It would be Josh Moore if I get word that Daniels is out, which I'm kind of waiting on. Ian Strong is in fact warming up though, so I've got the boots are on the ground, people. Kentrell Bullock. Don't have one yet. Oh, we don't know on Hollywood Smothers for tonight. That's going to be interesting. Pittsburgh. Everybody's asking about Des Reed. God knows. I think Love's a great play. I love Tristan Smith. Tristan Smith's my favorite value play. It's not close. That's 100% yes. All right. We're gonna play a Klubnik Gunnar Stockton team real quick. So that's why I'm gonna play. That's why I didn't play. I'm gonna play Jeremiah Love on this. So yeah. And then we're going to play Georgia. I want to play Gunnar Stockton because I think he's got the best rushing capability. I am going to play. No, you shouldn't do 120 lines. I'm doing 5 in this, and I'm doing about 60. I like Jace Brown. He's got massive ceiling. Floor is fine. I do think it's a very interesting pivot to get off of him and go to Garrett Oakley, personally. I think it's a kind of a fun way to play it. Little different way to play that. I can't play Tristan Smith in this lineup. I just have way too much exposure. Oh, TJ Moore, 1000% TJ Moore for me. It's just personal opinion, but that's where I'm at. If I go 3K here, see, this is the problem, guys. Like, it's too easy to go Tristan Smith in this spot because if you go Tristan Smith here, it literally allows you to do exactly what I want to do, which is take one of the 5,800, 5,900 guys, and then I get to put Jamari Taylor right here. Like, it's so simple to do this. It's just not fair. Like, I feel like I have to do that, and I don't want to, but I feel like I have to do that. That is just so good. Now the question is it Montgomery or Hemby? So I have a Montgomery team. Is it Montgomery or is it Hemby? I'm going to go. What do I have right now? Golly, I'm so nervous that they're going to drop news that he's out, and I'm just going to end up scrambling to try to get people in. I am so nervous about the CJ Daniels thing. Oh, there we go. CJ Daniels. Nope, never mind. It was somebody asking a question. What? How do we not? It's 40 minutes of game time. No, I don't. I hate Kyron. I hate Kyron Drones. That's just personal opinion. I just think he's a terrible player, but I also don't like Virginia Tech, so it's not my fault. Like I just, that's just a fact, Jack. You know what I mean? I just don't like Kyron Drones personally. Where is my entry fees? Let's see. So we've got Hemby Monty, Hemby Raphael, Monty. Okay, so we have 2 Montys, 2 Hembys. This one is arguably the tiebreaker. Golly. I'm going to end up playing Hemby. I'm going to play Hemby. You could also play Malachi Toney in that spot. You put Malachi Toney right here instead of Hemby. See, this is what gets me though. It's like, why would you know what? I'm changing my mind. I'm not playing Jamari Taylor in that spot. I am playing Chris Bell. I have the option. I'm gonna do it. I am gonna do it. because I want to play Chris Bell in that spot. So I'm going to do it. That's my favorite way to play that. All right, I'm playing that. Boom. All right, let's share this. Let's get our big coffin corner in. All right. Let's see here. We're gonna play. Oh no, I don't want to play Gunnar Stockton in this one. I do agree with that. Does anybody else hear Nick Diaz or Joe Rogan doing a Nick Diaz impression every time they say Stockton? I literally hear him saying Stockton. I can't help it. It's just ingrained in my brain. I'm playing Carson Beck in this. I'm still waiting to hear on that. I like Carson Beck in this spot. I'm going to play Malachi Toney. Let's see here. I'm going to play TJ Moore. Already done this once. I'm going to play Jeremiah Love. I'm going to play, maybe I'm going to get off of Chris Bell in this spot this time. Just so I don't end up with the same team. I like Raphael, so I'm going to play him. And then, let's see. Who else can we play? Well, this is a spot where if I get word, I'll easily just swap the CJ Daniels in. All right. See, everybody's asking for updates. We got people from Roto Grinders trying to get updates. We got everybody. I like Beck. I'm buying it. That's my flag plant, as they would say. I've planted my flag on Carson Beck, who I do not like, and I don't think he's very good overall. Really not expecting. All right, so everybody thinks Jamal Haynes isn't going to play tonight, or Justice Haynes, whatever, the Georgia Tech dude. I go Montgomery here. That's 5,800. That leaves me 37 for a wide receiver. 3,700. That would get me Trell Harris. That's kind of fun. That's a different way to play that. I think everybody ends up. Also a sneakily like is DeAndre Moore. He's got sneaky upside. Taking on Vandy. I don't think Vandy's particularly good. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of a fun way to play that. Is go like DeAndre Moore or Trell Harris, which I like the environment, to your all's point. I do like the game environment here. He's playing pretty good. I think his floor's awful. But you give me that, and then I'm able to get Montgomery. That's kind of fun. Let's do that. Let's go. You could go Barkate there too. I like Barkate, but I'm gonna go Montgomery and Kendrick Raphael. I think that gives me some fun optionality in that. I'm cool with that. All right, let's share this one. Let's do that. I think that's fun. I don't think you need to play Stockton stacked, so that's one way to do it. All right, let's see here. So I am not playing Stockton in this one. Let's go cheap quarterback. Or let's go. Did I play Stockton with Beck? That's not what I just played. Did I legit? Was that Klubnik? That was Klubnik, right? That wasn't Stockton. Or was that Klubnik? What did I just enter? I feel like I just entered something retarded, and I have no idea what it was. I got to figure out what I just entered. Let's just hit import. Okay, that's the team I just did. What? Okay. For some reason, I thought I had Georgia quarterback. I was like, why did I just enter the Georgia quarterback? I don't know what I was like. What did I just enter? That was retarded. I kept thinking for some reason that I had the Georgia quarterback with a bunch of nothing that was not even close to him. No, no, Darren, no. The late slate's terrible. I barely looked at it. I don't even know. I don't know that there is two guys better. That's kind of the problem. Oh, I have so much Klubnik. I think I'm gonna go away from Klubnik here. All right, we're gonna play. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it, but I'm gonna play Mensa. I'm gonna play Mensa back. Bosbra. So Klubnik's my favorite quarterback. Klubnik's my favorite quarterback. Mendoza's in there. I'm the guy. Here's what I'm gonna say. The guy I'm playing, you shouldn't, is Carson Beck. Saying Mendoza with Gunner. What does that give me access to though? Because here's the thing: I want this lineup to be featured around this, and then I want that, and probably this, and then actually, I don't even know that Barcade matters in that situation. Can I do that? 64 and 67, I think it is. That gives me like 13-1. No, that's 3,800. I can't do that. So I can't do Barcade there. I can do TJ Moore. I got to move Bell to the flex. This is where that Jamari and thingy is just a pain in my rump. I don't know that I like the Gunner situation, but I'm not playing Mendoza Gunner because I think that's too much. I do agree that there's an option there, but I feel like I'm stuck. If I play Gunner, I have to play. Oh, good. Thank you, Soda Kid. That is literally the most important news piece of the day. What the frick? Okay, well, we've got information from the classroom. Justice Haynes, the Michigan running back, according to Miss Hayes's post, even Saturday's broken foot didn't stop him from popping in for the read aloud to the children's thing. So, Justice Haynes has a broken foot. Justice Haynes has a broken foot. It's messing me up because Miss Hayes is the one who posted it. So I don't believe you're going to see Justice Haynes playing today. That's the most likely situation. Back to Twitter and our frustration. All right, a decision will be made soon on wide receiver CJ Daniels. Gee, thanks, Geo Million. Freaking 3 minutes ago. It's 30 minutes till game time, you moron. Come on, man. Somebody make a decision here. No, I am not an NFL guy. I promise you, you want NFL news, you go to Davis Maddock. I will shout him out, even though he has zero idea who I am. But I'm hoping he maybe one day will collaborate. He used to be a big college football guy. All right. Golly, everybody's just hoping that Daniels can play. Yeah, so am I, people. So am I. I think in this spot, maybe this is the spot that I go with my Samir Hagens play because I know one of Hagens or whatever is going to work out. One of Hagens or Quayshawn Brown. So maybe we go the Hagens route this time. We can go. Where is Mensa? I want Beck and Mensa. What does that get me? 63. Oh, I hate 6,300 running back. 63 running back sucks because then you end up on Jaden Ball. I like Bayron. I really do. You know what? Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Oh, do I really want to play Mensa and him? Not particularly. I was gonna say I could go 5,300 here. I'm tempted to play a Morton team. You know what? Let's play a Morton team. Let's play. I want to play Koi Eakin in it because I actually do like that play. So I'm gonna play Koi Eakin in it. I want Williams. I want Jacoby Williams. Oh, come on, you get a spell, idiot. All right, I want Jacoby Williams. I want Superflex to be. I'm gonna have to switch out some of these guys, more than likely. I want. Where is he? Bayron here. All right. Well, I'm close enough that I can make this work. So that's good. It's not like I have to adjust a ton. So it might be Bell who has to get switched out. Let's do that. 11. So I can get to, you know what? Give me Klubnik. Screw it. I'm going to play Klubnik. I need a quarterback. I want Klubnik. I love Morton, so I'm back at 6,300. I hate being at 6,300. Oh, you know what I do? There you go. Instead of Moore, I'm too exposed to Moore. Let's go TJ Williams, and then now I can get my Roman Hemby in. Let me go. Let's go Hemby here, and then I get my Jacoby Williams. So yeah, so now you get Klubnik with Antonio Williams. He's gonna get the most amount of targets in the bunch, so that's why I like him. Technically speaking, you could go 3K here, and that would be 2,300, and that would allow you give you access to. Oh, there's two ways to play this. Oh, there's two ways to play this. Okay, I'm going to show you. This is way number 1 to play this. I'm not going to advise you to play it the other way, but I will say there is a second way to play this, and it switches the other 3. So there is 1, 2. It's basically Williams, Tony, Hemby, and the other way to play it. I'm just going to show it because I know that's exactly the way to play this. The other way is Bell. So it's Bell over Tony. It's Tristan Smith. All right, now they're saying that Daniels is out. Yep, I just got Tony Rockets. CJ Daniels is in a jacket and not dressed out. Looks like he's out. He's out. CJ Daniels is out. CJ Daniels is out. CJ Daniels is out. Okay. All right. Gosh darn it. All right, so I've got a ton to do here. So yeah, so if we're looking at that, then you get Tristan Smith, and that's going to leave you with Kendrick Raphael. So that's your 2 ways to play this. You either go Bell, Smith, Raphael, or Williams, Malachi Tony, and Hemby. That's your 2 ways. Yeah, Daniels is out now. I still like Smith, but I think Moore is a great value as well. I'm going to end up there a good bit. We've got 25 minutes, and I am going to be on an absolute tear trying to figure all of my teams out. All right, now that news is broken, I have got to run because I have got to fix a lot of teams, and it's going to be a high stress situation. But I do appreciate everybody stopping by. And now I've got to fix a multitude of teams because I have way too much Carson Beck multiples. So good luck, everybody. Hopefully I will see you all tomorrow. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Tomorrow night we'll have the recap show with Brian and I. and we'll have content all week next week. Good luck, everybody. Yep. Thank you, Hog Dark. Appreciate the CJ Daniels news. I have to fix about 50 teams. So I'm going to fix all those. It's not easy swaps. Good luck, everybody. Y'all have a good day. Go Duke.